There's been a lot of talk about Killer Instinct in the last week, and I gotta say, the timing just couldn't be better. Me and my wife have been playing so much Killer Instinct lately, something must be in the air, because it's been on my mind so much lately, it's been appearing in my other videos as well. Snesdrunk and Maximilian have also been posting about it, so I know I'm not alone. This video is to help get the attention this series needs. Between all the Mortal Kombats and Street Fighters, there is another Titan. Today, Weekend Moblin takes a look at Killer Instinct, a series that made me fall in love with fighting games. I remember being around 6 years old and seeing this game for the first time. It was at a cousin's house I'd been staying at over the summer. He would hold tournaments between the entire family, from uncles to brothers. This game brought the entire family together. I'd go on to my favorite grandpa's house to spend time with him, and my uncle would go, to my amazement, pull out this same game. It was beautiful. Werewolves, skeletons, dudes made of fire, and a freaking raptor. Trust me, for a kid in the 90s, it doesn't get any more awesome than this. I was absolutely horrible at the game, and mainly had to watch others to get an actual good match in. The combos, they just went right over my head, but that didn't stop me from playing anytime I had the chance. I may have lost early, but I had a blast getting my booty handed to me. Killer Instinct was an arcade and SNES game developed by Rare and published by Nintendo and Midway. Released in arcades in 1994 and Super Nintendo and Game Boy in the year of '95, the game was actually advertised to be released on the Ultra 64. The Ultra 64 would be later known as the Nintendo 64. This ended up not seeing the light of day, and instead the game would be released alongside a CD and a black cartridge for the Super Nintendo. It would only be 2 years later that I would be introduced to another game in the series, the same day as the legendary Ocarina of Time. A different cousin than the one I stated before had come up for the holidays and brought both games with him. From that day forward, I knew this game as Killer Instinct Gold. I remember being so upset to find out Riptor didn't make the cut. Seems like I remember TJ Combo having something to do with this, so I held a grudge against him and always made it a point to go after whoever picked him. I was a cheap bastard with Spinal Slide move, and I even beat the hardest mode using that one move alone. That same day, I'd find myself cleaning out an old house to be renovated, and I'd fall on a barbed wire fencing, cutting my leg to the bone, leaving a permanent scar I still have to this day. So you can say it's a day I'll never forget, and Killer Instinct Gold played such a major part in that day. How fitting with all the blood and gore. Killer Instinct 2 was first released by Rare in 1996 for arcades and would later be ported to the Nintendo 64 as the gold version we play today using Rare Replay. It's a cheap and worth every penny game, so if you have yourself an Xbox, do yourself a favor and pick it up right away. Or if it's on the Game Pass, go ahead and get that. Killer Instinct Banjo conquers Bad Fur Day. Need I say more? Anyway, before I start reviewing Rare Replay, let's move on.
Awesome victory!
Rare would go on to be bought by Microsoft in 2002. See a previous video I made for more information. I wouldn't see any more Killer Instinct games until my adult years. I thought the series had become an afterthought and lost to time, and I would never see Riptor or Spinal again. These were the dark days, the evil days. It's just a damn game, man. Get a hold of yourself. Killer Instinct wouldn't see a release again until the year 2013 and was launched on the Xbox One. This announcement blew my mind and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But wait, where was Rare and who in the blue hell is Double Helix Games? Could I trust these new guys? Did they bring the amazement of my childhood back to me? In short, yes. But not at first. Ironhead Galaxy Studios would go on to take over all game content post-launch, and wow, did this game get better and better with time. Keep in mind what I just said, better in time. When the game first launched, the roster was extremely limited and laggy games was the normal, and I'm not talking about online. But if you were to put this game down and judge it from its early days, I hate to tell you this, but you've missed out. Since launch, this game has seen all returning characters from the past games, and that includes all bosses as well. It's absolutely insane the content you get now. Between all the returning fighters there is and all the assortment of new ones, they look just as good as the original cast and even have retro costumes to boot. They really went all out here and the love really shows. The amount of detail is something else, and the crazy combos you can pull off is extremely hype and exciting as hell to watch. When you pull off a killer combo, you feel a sense of adrenaline. The music has been taken to new levels, and I would go on to say this is now in my top 5 game soundtracks of all time. It's really that good. I must say the unlockables are very time consuming, but they are stunning looking, and you can't help but grind till you get at least the one character you like most, favorite skin and colors. I mean, really, look at Riptor. They knew she looked like she belonged in Primal Rage, and us 90s nerds would have to unlock it. If you scare easy and the grudge really isn't your thing, I recommend you stay far away from Shin Hisako. She's straight out of a horror movie, and she's just the start of the nightmares you'll be running into this time around. General Ram from Gears of War, Rash from Battletoads, and Arbiter from Halo are all guest stars, and it's just so weird seeing a cartoonish frog dressed as Conker fighting with, well, anyone in this game. Look how stupid this guy is. I love it. I love it. Ask my wife. She hates it. Speaking of my wife, I know I talked about this earlier, but this is the first game we ever really both got into at the same time. And it would be this that led her into my love of Smash Brothers, and now she has a love for both series as well. This is what I mean, Microsoft. This is the game that's so special to so many, and 2013 was 6 years ago. I gotta agree with Maximilian when he says it's time. Time for the next game, and time to take it to the next level. I mean, why not? It's money waiting to happen. I know Microsoft messed up on the launch of the last game, but that doesn't mean it needs to repeat itself. Take your time, Microsoft. Make the game and then release it. I assure you, if done right, the fans will be here with open arms. We are ready, and I think it's time to show Microsoft this series is just as big as any other fighting game titan out there. I could keep going on for hours and hours about this game, but I think it's time I cut this off here and just say, I love this game. Other people love this game. Let's do this, guys. Let's get this series back into action. What started as a Nintendo title I held so close is now Xbox, and I hope they continue to show they got this and can keep carrying this series into the future. This has been Weekend Moblin, and if you agree, please tell us why in the comments below. We would love to see what you've got to say on the matter. Also, a like and a sub would go a long way to help the channel, and we would be extremely grateful. If you want to keep up with all things Moblin, please hit the bell to get notified when we release a new video. Till next time, guys, stay tuned to Weekend Moblin.
Awesome victory!